the story of God turning King Nebuchadnezzar into an animal. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, was known for his immense pride and self-exaltation. One day, as he admired the grandeur of his kingdom, he declared, "Is not this great Babylon, which I have built by my mighty power as a royal residence and for the glory of my majesty?" Daniel 4:30. Immediately, a voice from heaven pronounced judgment upon him. As foretold in a dream interpreted by the prophet Daniel, Nebuchadnezzar lost his sanity and was driven away from human society. He lived in the wilderness, ate grass like cattle, and his appearance became wild, with long hair and nails resembling those of an animal. After 7 years of living as a beast, something remarkable happened. Nebuchadnezzar, stripped of all his human dignity and brought to the lowest point in his life, finally lifted his eyes to heaven. This act was not just a physical gesture, it symbolized his acknowledgement of God's sovereignty. In Daniel 4:34, we read Nebuchadnezzar's own words upon his restoration. "At the end of that time, I, Nebuchadnezzar, raised my eyes toward heaven, and my sanity was restored. Then I praised the Most High. I honored and glorified him who lives forever. His dominion is an eternal dominion. His kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the peoples of the earth are regarded as nothing. He does as he pleases with the powers of heaven and the peoples of the earth. No one can hold back his hand or say to him, 'What have you done?'" This confession marked a transformation of Nebuchadnezzar's circumstances and his heart. He finally understood that his power, wealth, and achievements were not his own doing, but gifts from God. He was restored to his throne, and his kingdom became even greater than before. Daniel 4:36-37 concludes the chapter with Nebuchadnezzar's profound realization. "At the same time that my sanity was restored, my honor and splendor were returned to me for the glory of my kingdom. My advisors and nobles sought me out, and I was restored to my throne and became even greater than before. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and exalt and glorify the King of heaven, because everything he does is right and all his ways are just. And those who walk in pride, he is able to humble." The story of King Nebuchadnezzar is a timeless reminder of several critical truths that are as relevant today. God opposes the proud but gives grace to the humble. Pride blinds us to God's hand in our lives. When we elevate ourselves and take credit for what God has done, we risk falling into Nebuchadnezzar's trap. Nebuchadnezzar's story illustrates that God holds ultimate authority over all human rulers, nations, and events. This should comfort us in uncertain times, reminding us that God is still in control, no matter how chaotic the world seems. Even after such a severe judgment, God's mercy was evident in Nebuchadnezzar's story. When we turn to God with humility and repentance, he is faithful to restore us. Like Nebuchadnezzar, we may be tempted to take pride in our accomplishments, forgetting that every success ultimately comes from God.